Welcome to Blackdog Speed Shop. Today we are working on this 1972 Jimmy pickup truck. The customer was looking for a shop that could finish building his Jimmy and get it in driving condition and also tuned, so he brought it here to Blackdog. Engine wiring is first on the list. Dalton is starting the wiring process for the Terminator X fuel injection system. Here, our lead technician Jeff checks for proper fitment of the new Dakota Digital Dash. Dalton will also have to mark and cut out a hole for the Terminator wiring to pass through to the ECU that is mounted under the dash. Over on the other end of the truck, we are currently working on wheel stud sizing for the upgraded wheel and tire package that will be installed. The current wheel studs on the rotor are not long enough for the new wheels, so they will have to be replaced with longer ones. Also, the wheels needed to be bored out in our machine shop for them to fit. Let's check in on the wiring progress. Looks like we are finishing up connections on the control cable, and then moving on to the fuse box installation. Dalton has Joey helping with the fuse box. Teamwork gets the job done. This truck is also getting an updated sound system, so wiring for the stereo and dash is next. The next order of business is the fuel system. The gas tank has to be dropped, then the fuel lines have to be ran, and the fuel pump wired up.
See what we got there is a problem? That gap when that's all the way tight is bigger than the thickness of this gas tank, so it never clamps tight on there. That's an issue. It's okay, we have custom solutions for custom problems.
Here at Blackdog, we have a full fabrication area to make custom parts for use on our builds. After creating the custom brackets, Jeff cleans out the gas tank in case any foreign material made its way into the tank before mounting the fuel pump.
Boys and girls, will it turn anymore? Oh, look at that. Now here's another thing. This came pre-assembled from somebody else. You don't ever use white Teflon tape for fuel fittings. It'll melt it and leak.
The fuel pump fittings will be resealed the correct way and reinstalled. The next part of the fuel system to be addressed is the fuel lines, along with mounting a bypass, return-style fuel pressure regulator, and fuel filter. Now that the fuel lines are all ran, it's time to put the gas tank back on. Dalton is continuing to focus on wiring the truck while Jeff starts to fabricate the cold air intake. Before welding, he's checking his measurements to ensure proper clearance for the tube and the air filter. Now that the initial welding is done, Jeff will check fitment and add a bracket for support. We did a final polish on the air intake and are now prepping for startup. Now it's time to do an initial systems check and then prep the truck for the tuning phase. The driver's seat was also delivered and installed. After some initial checks, we're ready to do a pull. Looks like it ended up making 353 horsepower and 335 foot-pounds of torque. Now it's time to perform an alignment, then a road test. Everything seems to be working well on the test drive. Now it's ready for the customer and any adventures they may have planned.